What is good, fellow human beings who root for the New York Jets? We all saw this report about a week or two ago that Braxton Berrios was commanding $9 million a year in free agency. That's what it was going to take to retain him. And this generated lots of eye rolls of Jets fans across the nation. Seems like an absurd figure for a player of this caliber. However, in this video, I'm going to take the role of Braxton Berrios' agent and make the case, or try to make the case, that he is worth every penny of a $9 million per year contract. First, let's start with Braxton Berrios and the value at his position, wide receiver. When Joe Douglas came to Jamison Crowder's agent this past year, he asked him to take a pay cut that would give him a cap hit at about $5.5 million, showing us what this front office values the slot receiver position. Now, although Braxton isn't as accomplished in his career as Jamison Crowder is, Braxton did outperform Jamison Crowder on a game-by-game basis this year. Braxton Berrios had a 70.6 catch percentage in 2021, by far the highest mark of any Jets receiver or tight end. Keep in mind, Zach Wilson had a completion percentage in the 50s. So when our QBs were targeting Braxton alone, that figure jumped all the way to 70. Braxton's Pro Football Focus rating of 74 also was the highest of any Jets receiver in 2021. Keep in mind, Braxton also adds the threat of a runner via jet sweeps and reverses. He's a guy who can even easily give you 200 yards and a touchdown on the ground as well. I think most Jets fans would agree $5.5 million per year just for Braxton, the receiver, is more than fair. Now, Braxton Berrios just doesn't catch balls and take hands-offs. He returns kicks and punts, and he does it better than anybody in the NFL. At least he did so last year. He led the NFL in kick return average in 2021. Also returned one kick to the house for a touchdown. Now, if we look at the value of just elite kick returners and punt returners, if we go back to one of our own players, 2018, we had Andre Roberts, kick returner, punt returner, and he didn't really play a role on offense. His only role was on special teams. He was an all-pro that year. We let him walk to the Buffalo Bills, who valued him at $2.5 million. That's the contract they signed him to. Again, he didn't play much offense in Buffalo, just a kick returner and punt returner. So it's fair to say that Braxton's value on special teams as an all-pro special teamer is $2.5 million. That added on top to the 5.5 as a wide receiver and a rusher brings us to $8 million. We still have another $1 million to go to get to that magic number of $9 million a year. But I think we can find another $1 million of value in his reliability and his toughness, along with his chemistry with young quarterback Zach Wilson, and trying to keep him away from our division foes. Braxton Berrios is a dog. He's just a beast. I mean, the fans love him. We've had so many receivers over the years. Denzel Mims, who doesn't know the rules. Stephen Hill, who can't catch. And Devin Smith, oh my God, right? This guy, he loves football. You can count on him. He seems like he wants to be a Jet, and he developed an immediate rapport with our young quarterback, Zach Wilson. As soon as Elijah Moore went down and Braxton had to slide into that slot role, he immediately became the go-to target for Zach. And we also want to keep him out of our division. We know that the Patriots are going to be lurking to bring this guy back. They need a slot receiver. They value special teams. And the Buffalo Bills may be looking on to move on from Cole Beasley and could see Braxton Berrios as a replacement. And Jets fans, we know if this guy ends up in New England or Buffalo, he is guaranteed to cook us 2 times a year. Let's keep him in green and white. Finally, if you're thinking that all sounds good, but he's still a wide receiver number 4, and a cap hit of $9 million is just too high. He's going to get on the field. Our receiving core has been decimated the past 5 years. We always have injury at the wide receiver position. And if you see here, Corey Davis and Elijah Moore missed a combined 14 games last year. So he's going to get on the field. And let's say the Jets have some really good health luck this year, and he's still the wide receiver number 4, a little bit buried on the depth chart. That's when we can be creative. I'm calling on offensive coordinator to work some magic to get him on the field. Here you see 2 examples. You see the Chicago Bears and how they utilized Damiere Byrd, who has a similar skill set to Braxton Berrios. They lined him up often in the backfield to get him lined up against safeties and linebackers coming out of the backfield. That's probably the extent of the advice we want to take on offense from the Chicago Bears, but it is an option to get Braxton onto the field. And then you see down below this 4-by-1 formation that the Packers ran a lot on third down, where they have 4 wide receivers and kind of an offset running back. I mean, can you imagine that formation if you had Corey Davis, maybe another receiver you added in the offseason, maybe a Calvin Ridley, and then a double slot tandem of Braxton Berrios and Elijah Moore with Michael Carter coming out of the backfield. Now, that is a really formidable formation that you could have on passing downs. So that is my case to re-sign Braxton Berrios, the receiver, the rusher, the kick returner, the punt returner, and the dog, the beast, the man, the myth, the legend. He's worth $9 million. Jets fans, we got to bring him back. Let me know in the comments below. Am I crazy? Is he worth it? What do you think? Go Jets.